Moin und herzlich willkommen hier wieder bei The Hobbyist in der Kategorie Gaming mit dem Spiel Vampire the Masquerade Coteries auf New York. Und genau darum geht es in Folge 6, den Klüngel bzw. die Coterie zu erweitern. Viel Spaß damit. Mir gefällt der Nosferatu. Cooler Charakter. Jetzt ist die Frage, Gangrel oder Malkavian? Also ich stehe auf Gangrel, aber das wird jetzt nicht zum Charakter passen, glaube ich. Also ich weiß nicht, vielleicht werden sie nachher wirklich alle, gehören sie nachher alle zur Coterie. Aber ich gehe mit der Malkavianerin. Let's do it. Ach, you need to rest. Okay, sorry. My fault. Rest. You notice something strange by the front door of your haven. There's a letter slipped under the door in a cream-colored, old-fashioned envelope. There's no name on it, but you know it's meant for you. Opening the letter, it's clear it's been sent by someone incredibly old-fashioned, rich, or a fan of classic stationery. No normal person sends letters like this. The note is small and terse, written in elegant, delicate handwriting. You're cordially invited to a rendezvous at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. I'll be waiting to make your acquaintance tomorrow night. Look for me closer to God. There is no other information. It looks like you have a mysterious invitation for the following night. Okay. Bla bla bla. Ah, das scheint jetzt so Nebenquests tatsächlich zu sein. Faith and irgendwas, Part 1. Kann ich das hier irgendwie anders machen? Ah, Faith and Myth, Prologue. Okay. Faith and Myth. For Hope. Was ist das? Kann ich da hier auch? Nee, ach Quatsch, sorry, das war das Falsche. Das. Ach, Faith and Myth, Part 1, das ist jetzt. Ah, das ist die eigentliche Geschichte scheinbar, der Prolog, steht hier zumindest. Aber ich würde eigentlich. Vielleicht gehe ich noch mit der Malkavianerin reden. Ich meine, die lassen mir die Wahl, ne? Wenn das wichtig wäre. Ich akzeptiere erstmal die Malkavianerin. It's a quiet, moody internet cafe. Half of its space serves as a coffee bar these days, but behind a glass wall, it still has a space dedicated for rows of PCs. From the street you can notice tired adults in casual clothes typing away absent-mindedly, oh Gott, was für ein Wort, and some bored kids wasting the late evening hours on colorful online games. If Sophie's intel is to be believed, this is where Hope has set up her haven. One of the waiters is standing outside the building, gazing at the sky with a smartphone in one hand and a vape pen in the other. You approach the man and tell him, I was supposed to meet Hope here. I'm looking for Hope. Okay, das kann natürlich jeder sagen. He releases a soft chuckle. Yeah, you and me both. The man slowly takes a drag from his e-cig, sizing you up and down in silence. After a long, awkward moment, when you're ready to leave him be, he raises his voice again. Come, right this way. He heads back into the cafe, and you follow his lead. When you make your way through the space with computers, no one averts their gaze from the spreadsheets, emails, Facebook profiles, or games of Fortnite. It's a common sight. One you wouldn't have paid much attention to a few weeks ago, but now it seems so unnervingly quaint. Would they still be spending their time like this if they were immortal? The waiter unlocks an unassuming door at the end of the room and lets you inside. You two swiftly make your way through a labyrinth of sterile grey corridors, taking confusing twists and turns. It feels like you're traveling into a different world. Crossing one invisible portal after another. Eventually you reach your destination. Your guide motions you to enter a dark room with a lone source of pale light. A computer screen in the distance beckoning you to come closer. Wow, das ist mal ein Keller, ey. Was das hier alles ist. Sieht aus wie eine kleine Bühne irgendwie, aber da ist ein Bett, eine Kamera. Sieht wie etwa in einem Pornokeller. Das ist irgendwie wie bei Bloodlines 1, wenn du so im Internetcafé im Hinterzimmer bist, da ist ja auch so ein Pornokeller. Ich bin gespannt. As you do, you hear the doors shutting behind your back and a short chuckle echoing behind it. Is this the place? Nothing else to do but sit on a chair in front of a computer. The monitor displays a modern chat application. A cursor is blinking in the user's nickname entry field. In the middle of the screen, obviously expecting you to input your handle. After brief consideration, you type in something goofy. Maybe it's your newfound sensibilities going haywire, but this place has a barely noticeable sleazy aura. Might as well go along with it. You input Pornos Collector. wie ich dachte. And push the enter button. After a few seconds, the chat window opens and messages start appearing on the screen in quick succession. Hostage Executioner. Oh, what? Geht das jetzt immer so? Muss ich jetzt... Ach du Scheiße. Das ist Absicht, oder? Bowser, Pornos Collector, no idea, the user wasn't second before. What the hell, anyone should be informed? No, it's not. Pornos Collector, identify yourself within 2 minutes or get banned. Ich lese einfach erstmal. Just to be clear, I don't have a wank rack. Not my F of. Oh, for sure, no. Yeah, Jerry isn't the chat MVP. I meant I've admitted to far worse things on here. God, I'm so horny. Not sure why I have need to lie about this one. Oh my god, literally, who cares? You and me both, bozo. Wait, who's Pornos Collector? Pornos Collector? No idea. Oh no, thirst victim? Huh. A new user wasn't here a second before. Hostage executioner, what the hell? Has anyone informed? No announcement. I know I wasn't at Jerry 2010. Ooh. Identify yourself within 2 minutes or get banned. The chat goes silent, everyone seemingly waiting for you to say something before proceeding. This must be a close-knit group. Better say something before they kick you out. Looking for hope. Die wird sicherlich auch nicht ihren richtigen Namen benutzt haben. Just logged in here. Who are you guys? Who the fuck are you? This was meant to be a safe channel investigating what went wrong. Stay calm. Yeah, sure, that's our Jerry. Dumbass. Okay, ich muss mal von vorne lesen. So schnell bin ich nicht. To be a safe channel investigating what went wrong. How did they even get in here? Stay calm. Can you get their location, Jerry? Lol. Yeah, sure. That's our Jerry. Gonna DM it to anyone interested. Oh boy, now you're in trouble. Pornos Collector. Yeah, you're gonna regret, dumbass. The day you decide to spy on us. The waiter brought me here. Das wäre geil. Presents? Funktioniert Presents übers Internet? Ah, ich hab zu wenig Blut. The waiter brought me here. Calm down. Fuck off. Ach shit, okay. Got the info. Nice. You wanna die, so you will die. You die. Oh wow. Fuck Pornos Collector. Jesse Hooker, Turtle Guy. Okay. Love my ass laughing at everyone sentencing Pornos Collector to death. I'm literally on my way to kill him. To kill you, RN. Yeah, sorry to inform you, you're about to die. Rip, bitch. You're getting your throat slit right here, right now. Also, a split second after you read the message, you feel someone's arms tightening around your neck. The violent return to reality clutches you off guard. A jolt of panic rushes through your brain, paralyzing you momentarily. You have come to the wrong chat room, motherfucker. A ridiculous whisper rings to the next to your ear, and the grip under your head gets even tighter. You start struggling, but even with your newfound supernatural strength, you are having trouble breaking out. This isn't a normal human you're dealing with. Last words. Chatroom says Sophie sent me here. The chatroom sucks ass. Hey, that's just rude, but I still laughed. The hand holding your chin shifts its position slightly. Don't struggle or we'll break your wind wipe. Or my phone, which would be even worse for you. Sounds of camera shutter and light flashing. Did they just take some selfies with you? Alright, that's enough fun. I'm letting you go. We can have a talk. Don't do anything stupid, Miss Intruder. Pretty please. The mysterious assailant loosens their grip on you and gently pushes you away. You quickly turn to take a good look at them. Guy. Let me just finish this. It's a pale blonde woman in her 20s, giving you slightly judgmental looks while rapidly tapping away her phone screen. First you notice her outrageous outfit, seemingly thrown together from random thrift store finds. Then you take note of her tattoos, a sprawling tapestry of odd patterns and designs covering every visible part of her body. At first glance it all seems aimless, but it has a consistent sense of style upon close inspection. Her eyes focus on you for a second. Gave you a scare, huh? Sorry. That's what you get from entering a lady's haven without her permission. And she's back to her phone. With her relatively small build, it's hard to believe you had trouble overpowering her physically. But then again, nothing is what it seems when it comes to the undead, and even compared to the vampires you've met so far, she comes off as an eccentric, curious presence. She shoots you another glance, noticing you are still cautious of her. Calm yourself, girl. I won't pull anything like this anymore. It was just feel stupid saying it out loud, a vibe check. Vibe check? Vibe check, vibe check, vibe check. Okay. Vibe check? Yeah, I got a glimpse of your vibe on the internet, and it's a dangerous situation. I'd say I've got a pretty good idea about who you really are. I'm Hope, by the way. If you're here, you've probably heard of me, so I went ahead and skipped the pleasantries. But come to think of it, I might have skipped too many of those. Yeah, she definitely fits the description you will be given by Sophie. But you know, I kind of respect that dedication. It's amusing. Anyway, don't worry about the chat. It was all game to us. No hard feelings, okay? I'll introduce you properly later. On the monitor, the chatter continues normally. Your visit is like yesterday's news, no longer relevant to anything. But, look. If we're going to talk about you, you should have something to say to. What are you doing here? About time she asked, note to self. She really loves the sound of her own voice. I'm building a coterie. I'm looking for some people to join my coterie. Coterie? Been there, done that, not interested. Unless... She takes a closer look at you. Her eyes go wide. Wait! Shit! Are you the new Langley plaything? Sehr geil. Word seems to be getting around fast. Of course you are. It's obvious the second Langley got her hands on the new servant. She'd start building a network. Your emissions tell me that could really come in handy when... But Langley, that's a risky game. This kind of ambition attracts too much attention. Piss off. But then again, fucking Kara, She seems to be having a spirited argument with herself, only parts of it's audible. It's just you. Or do her facial expressions and body language change a bit between one sentence and the other? Before you make certain it's not just your eyes playing tricks on you, she focused half of her attention back on you. The other half, of course, is still obsessed with her smartphone. Listen, I'm not saying I'm not interested in our cooperation, but before I make a decision, I need to make sure you sort of understand me and that I sort of understand you. And since I was planning to put on a show before you came here, I propose a little game. Hope absent-mindedly spins her phone in her hand, considering how to put her thoughts into words. Then she approaches a switch on the wall and flicks it. Neon lights flare up, illuminating the room. You take a look around. The room is certainly unique. It looks like a butcher's room, repurposed to be a living space. The modern computers in front of you starkly contrast the ominous industrial walls. At the back, there's an overwrought bed covered in velvet with meat hooks hanging above. On top of the bed sheets, you notice what seems to be pieces of elaborate S&M equipment and a camera. Wait a minute. You want my help? Moderate my cam show. Cam show? Your eyebrows twitch involuntarily. This is definitely not the kind of request you expected to hear tonight. She notices your confusion. Take it or leave it, buddy. You just became a kindred. But you want to become my partner in crime? Show me you can handle yourself while watching my back in my everyday environment. She's serious. The show starts in 10 minutes. If you think yourself better than this, better walk off the door right now. I won't hold a grudge. I've got better things to do. As if to prove it, she looks at something displayed on her phone and cracks a brief grin. Another reply typed down with an absurd speed. Tap, 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 tap. 9 minutes. It's now or never. Show moderator? Risk of violating the Masquerade? High. Content warnings? Oh yes. Content warnings? Oh yes. So, do you take the job? Risk of violating the Masquerade? Risk of violating Masquerade high. If I have to, what is that? If I have to? Hope rolls her eyes further back than you thought was possible. If I have to? Not exactly an inspiring person, are you? She begins to sigh, but stifles it quickly and reflects. Sorry, I get it. You might have gotten a bad first impression of me or whatever, but I promise this will prove surprisingly educational. Alright, give me a second. She spends a minute setting up the computer you used before, then urges you to sit down. The explanation of the moderator's functionalities is simple. It boils down to ignoring anyone who doesn't disrupt the chat, banning anyone who does, and kicking anyone who causes minor trouble. 5 minutes later, she's already online, sitting on her bed in a provocative pose. It is a sex show, isn't it? Her voice, previously hushed, rings out with full force. How are you doing tonight, hopefuls? You peek at the chat. We're not worthy, Queen. Fucking A. Angel T.O.T. Hell yeah, time to fuck. We're not worthy, fucking A. Angel T.T. Hell yeah, time to fuck. Ignore. You're tempted to try out the kick and ban prompts as soon as possible, but obviously it won't punish someone for a little dirty talk. Thank you! Today's show is quite special. Please welcome our new moderator, Pornos Collector. Turtle guy, love my ass off. Ooh, love my ass off, sorry for sentencing you to death earlier. At least the community here seems to be a bit more welcoming this time. Looks like this place has an established hazing ritual, or maybe they and Hope came up with one specifically for you. Who knows? You decide to stay silent. Eventually people stop riffing on you and focus entirely on the star of the show. Alright, let's start this one with a bang, shall we? It begins. Queen. Oh boy, she's going to do it. So this is where the strip show starts. You raise your head, curious about what kind of performance she's going for. First she opens her mouth and reveals her retraceable fangs in front of the camera. Okay, wir sind so tot. Right off the bat, the online audience is treated to a sight of her wholly human set of teeth turning into a monster's maw. The image is both revolting and fascinating. She raises her left wrist for everyone to see, then bites. The fangs immediately turn her arm into a horrifying gory mess. It's unclear if she used them to slash or bite, but one thing is for sure, no ordinary human could cause such damage. If an ordinary human suffered such a wound, you'd expect a geyser of blood to appear too, but it doesn't. Hope's technically a corpse, so it's impossible. She flashes a monstrous smile and starts smearing vitae all over her hand to maximize the impact of a violent image. Then she starts drinking it up. She makes it a point to make this sight as gruesome as possible, looking like a hyena feasting on a corpse. The contrast of her behavior with her look of an Instagram model is stunning. Once she's done, she reveals the wrist to the camera for the last time. She starts making theatrical gestures with her right arm, as the wound begins to mend. Shortly after, it's no longer there, it's like a magician's trick. Her left hand looks like nothing wrong ever happened to it. Here's an appetizer, first blood to kick off the show. While you're wondering what the hell is going on, Hope catches a glimpse of your bewildered face and turns into your direction. How is that for an opening? This is not a sex show? You're shooting snuff? Ah, you heard. This is not a sex show. Sex. Sex? What were you counting me on, getting naked in front of you or something? Oh honey, we've just met each other. If you expected a strip show, yeah, sorry to disappoint. This is more like live-streamed digital art. The erotic subtext is there, of course. You peek at the chat. They're going wild. She did that for free. Have to lick your wrist clean. Nothing more arousing than a beautiful woman teething on the edge of oblivion, a rose petal dancing in the eye of a violent hurricane. Okay. But eroticism is not the key here, it's vampirism. It's a new frontier, a living art installation. In the early 90s, the Japanese artist kept producing these videotapes with beautiful women committing gory harakiri. Those are inspiration. She bares her fangs again in a devious grin. But I have no interest in auto-destruction or turning myself into a victim. This is a celebration of a body. I love, not self-inflicted punishment. The audience came here to marvel at a beautiful vampire. Her awe-inspiring powers. Mending wounds is just one of those. The people watching can pay to see more. Oh, I know, don't worry. The only things the audience can see and hear are the things I allow them to. We can talk freely. Just remember to moderate the chat, will you? High risk of violating the Masquerade. What a joke, she's blatantly breaching in front of anonymous viewers. Still speechless, you turn to your attention on the screen. Muy guapa. Okay. Prepare for the next attraction. Looking for pink marshmallow covered in raspberry sauce. Thirsty victim, just letting you know you're based. I know. Muy guapa? Feeling generous today. Have you planned for your next tattoo yet? I'll pay for the next attraction. You let the guy vent his excitement. Seems harmless. A special message appears on the chat log. claiming somebody has successfully sponsored the first goal of the show. Hope smiles and picks up a bag of blood from underneath the bed. It must have been retrieved from a blood bank. She showcases the label to the camera for everyone to see. Drink up, drink up, drink up, drink up. Hope pours the contents of the bag into her throat. You have no doubt it's real blood, but wonder why the viewers would be so sad with something that's so easy to fake. Don't worry, it pays well enough. You don't even bother to tell her this is not what you're thinking about. Safe to assume she knows. So, what do you know about the Kindred and the internet? Have they told you anything? While she's waiting for someone to sponsor her next vampiric feat, she decides to start a conversation. Is there the right time? Is this the right time? It's not. I think you need to utilize every moment to the fullest if you don't want to feel as dead as you are. I'm busy waiting, so I might as well teach you about the world you're about to enter. See, some of us used to experiment with our own secure networks. We tried to build our own information hubs, social networks, everything. She's still working the phone in one hand while looking for something under the bed with the other. On how many things she can concentrate at one time exactly. Then one day the NSA got it. Turns out elders never really got the hang of proper security practices. All the sigils they used to smear on their screens didn't exactly work as advertised. Then of course all the other three-lettered intelligence agencies in the world got the intel. And a lot of them decided bloodsuckers were the perfect new enemies for our post-9/11 times. The Second Inquisition came into being. Ever heard of it? A lot of our kind died just because they were too present online. Right now the remains of our old networks serve as a government honeypots, kept alive to attract fledglings and hunt them down. You post a certain keyword on Twitter or Facebook, you get tagged for investigation. You fit certain patterns, you get tagged for investigation. So there is a certain thrill in becoming an online presence without attracting attention from the authorities. She stretches on the bed. I hope you're still monitoring the chat. Of course not. You're not as good as dividing your attention as she is. You correct your mistake and check the recent messages. Talking to someone, can wait for the weird thing to start. Streaming server rules. Call of Duty on one screen, drop dead hotness on the second screen. The only woman I don't hate. Hope has crabs and gonorrhea. Hope more like my favorite hoe. Okay. Give the guy a kick. Get yourself a normal nickname, douchebag. After 10 seconds, he's back with the same handle. Time for decision, ignore or ban. Ban. This kind of nickname only suggests trouble. You get rid of them permanently. Good job. She's keeping close tabs on you. Anyway, yeah. When the Nosferatu admitted to Camarilla, their network got compromised. The elders went batshit insane. Internet communications became strictly forbidden. They were executions. A lot of people used social media to secretly contract their mortal families and lovers of God of it? That goes without saying. But if you weren't careful, even the most innocent web usage could resist in being punished with final death. Thanks to user Dick Steele, the next goal has just gotten successfully funded. Turtle guy, let's go! Vanishing act, humanize yourself and face to bloodshed. She raises her hand, 3 fingers up, 2 fingers up, 1 finger up. The countdown ends and she immediately disappears from the screen like a ghost. Komisches Beschreibungstext. You can still see her on the bed, but the live feed indicates there's nobody there. When you deeply focus on the digital image, you swear you can make out some unusual glitching where a silhouette should be, but it could very well be just placebo. You ready for this? 3, 2, 1. A flash of camera. The instant she reappears on the screen, she takes a selfie, sticking her tongue out in a provocative manner. The chat room explodes in cheers again. She is their vampire queen. You briefly wonder about her being glued to the screen. This is the fantasy everybody is here for? A girl showing off cheap magic tricks while lazily browsing her social media? You realize you're way out of your depth here. Meanwhile, Hope decides to continue her lecture. Those were some wild times, especially in New York. While most of them have no clue as to our real nature, a lot of clandestine organizations have classified us as national threats. And since this is where the towers fell, the agencies are very much present around here, looking for easy PR victories. The last SI raid here was just a few years ago, and it was a big one, stirred up the hornet's nest something fierce. But although it's 2019, New York City is ruled by someone who got embraced before World War II, and the CAM as a whole got really spooked and swore off the internet. Of course they're not dumb and understand that you can't really coexist with modern kind without the internet. It's a grey zone right now, like piracy. Technically frowned upon, but let the one without sin cast the first stone. The SI is a real threat, no joke, but in many senses, the darkest place is right under the candle. You take another look at the screen. We want blood! How about some bad stuff? Can you do that, some bad stuff? Can you show us next time? It's been a long, hard day. Please give me a shout out. Fuck Pornos Collector. Jesse Hooker. Oh, mal sehen. A familiar nickname pops up. Masochist Summer. Ignore. The guy seems to be having the time of his life. Good on you, buddy. Ooh, you're just going to let this guy shit up the chat? Come on, it's your job to react to spam. That's it. Yeah, good. She lets out a dejected sigh and kicks the guy from the room herself. Can't imagine she's too satisfied with how you handled the situation. The show goes on. Oh yeah, fun fact about being a vampire, we can sweat and pee if we just exert ourselves really hard. Some of us can even orgasm. We can even cry, but only tears of blood. It's something I always dreamed to do when I was 14. So romantic, and it drives them crazy. As proof of her words, a scarlet tear starts running down her face. The chat goes wild. This seems to be exactly the kind of thing they've been waiting for. Angel fell down from heaven. Oh god, she did it again. Beatific. Hope your tortured soul finds... Was? Hope your tortured soul finds some calm eventually. Can you imagine TUSA assembling a blood-sucking squad that would just cruise by the border and suck blood out of an illegal they found? Their very thought gives me the biggest boner. Ignore. You aren't sure if the guy is just satirizing a certain type of poster, so you give him a pass. However, the chat quickly makes it sure he is known as a repeat offender. Back in here. No, out of here. Racist. Where's the fuck is Pornos Collector wanking off instead of doing their job? Hope gives you a tired look before continuing on with the show. You correct your mistake and ban the guy before, but the damage is done. Everyone starts clowning on you again. Just to be clear, you realize what we're doing here is a blatant breach of the Masquerade, right? I honestly respected you to leave or inform somebody by now, but you haven't, have you? You try to focus on the chat. A familiar nickname is displayed on the screen. Ach, come on. Jetzt nervt er mich auch. Ban. Looks like Mr. Masochist needs a longer break. After you ban him, you hear Hope's voice. Good job handling that guy. Great. If nothing else works out, it seems like you fit this job at the very least. In any case, the last goal has just been funded. It's time for the great finale. This is what you've all been waiting for, right? Yes, Queen, yes, Queen, yes, Queen. Her voice has changed. She gets closer to the camera, letting her face fill the frame of the live feed. Her mesmerizing eyes are focused purely on the viewers. You wanted blood? Come out into the streets, claw out your neighbors' throats, slash their veins and drink up. Yes, Queen, yes, Queen, yes, Queen. Queen. Okay. Hope's presence becomes absolutely horrifying, and it influences this chat in some incomprehensible way. Everyone starts typing like they were possessed. Liberate yourselves from the shackles of the ordinary morality. Make them scream, feel the warmth of their entrails. Jetzt sind sie irgendwie alle am Spam. What the hell is she doing to those people? What have you gotten yourself into? Transcend your bodies, release the message of hope into the world. She starts jerking violently for a second, and then falls down on the bed like a marionette that had just had its strings severed. She exhales loudly a few times, and laughs. When she does, the room goes dark again. Alright, that's enough. Instead of taking the last shot, she does something with her phone. The stream ends and the chat instantly becomes dead quiet. Let me take over. The atmosphere in the room has completely changed. She's already put herself together and stood up. Now she's walking towards you. What the fuck just happened? Guess the show is over. Everyone relax and go home. Oh, I was almost ready to come, bros. Hostage, I swear on my father's grave, one day I will find you and kick the everything shit out of you. After every line she delivers, she changed her voice, the way she puts her lips together and even the way she moves. You've caught glimpses of her acting this way, but only now have you started to figure it out. What the hell just happened? Miss Point du Lac. I'm immortal, I'm bored, I'm separated from most vampires in the city, but a generational chasm. And I'm goddamn lonely, the internet used to be my only friend. Years ago I started researching Tulpa's collective unconsciousness, all the mumbo-jumbo at the intersection of psychology and spirituality, and I decided to experiment. The show was fake. A few years later, I was an Instagram fashionista, a sexual erotic model, a vital part of pop culture commentariat, a viral shitposter, a cryptocurrency expert. All of my internet selves stated signal boosted each other, paving the way for new ones. I became a one-woman empire surrounded by legions of psycho-fans. The chat was fake. Some might think of it as dissociative identity disorder, but that's bullshit. Everyone has online alter egos they buried. I just resurrected them, gave birth to new ones, and let them crossbreed. Her constant tapping at the phone, even during the show, somehow she's capable of impersonating an entire chat room. Das habe ich mir schon fast gedacht. Literally a perfect angel. I don't even have a self that could dissociate or may... Leute, ich kann nicht mehr lesen, ich muss gleich aufhören. I don't even have a self that could dissociate or be mentally ill. I'm a host, a living database. I live because I find it fun to be an information conduit, to process trends and support the ones I deem worthy. There was no Masquerade violation. She was showing off her skills all along. She put you into a world of pure fiction, the same way she was testing you back when she attacked you from the back. Damn, she's good at this. Mark David Chapman, of course you can just ignore what I'm saying and decide I'm just another deranged Malkavian. But hey, annihilation of the self is the only way to survive in the 21st century. If there ever was an era that demanded images of beautiful people transcending beyond humanity and inspiring others to do the same, it's this one. Although for now, because of Masquerade, my audience is quite limited. Speaking of, you want me to be the star of my next movie? Hell no. Aw, you're no fun. But yeah, your test is over. Now the question is, do I want to work with you? She puts away her phone for the first time since you've met her and gives you a good, hard look. Vibe check Vivo. Guess I can give it a shot, yeah? You're not that dumb, you're not that boring, and you're kinda cute. Don't worry, no more modding jobs. Mods get attached, and that's always bad news. She grabs your arm and starts leading you out of her room. I've put you through enough shit. Next time I'll let you in on a little job I'm doing. We'll hit the streets and you'll see why Sophie told you to contact me. She leads you through a labyrinth of grey corridors. It's a different route than the one you made your way through in. Yeah, unconscious diagram of psychic event. This city is so much more than what elites consider real. Stick with me and I'll guide you to places Camarilla elders couldn't reach in 100 years. She leads you out of a building to the back alleys. Even if someone else rules the streets. Shitty trailer voice. We will rule the information highways. This is the power of hope. She lets out a theatrical laugh and disappears. You don't even notice when she leaves you alone, but you assume everything went as well as it could. A new ally, the power of hope. As you walk off into the night, everything around you feels a little less tangible than it did a few hours ago.